Just to add a little something to the conversation, they're making videos for products and installation. We also do our own videos in-house, and we do it for branding our company, which is a powerful thing. We make fun videos of things we do around the shop, and we post them up on Facebook. And we even do videos with contractors. Just they're really relationship builders. And our community's small. Believe it or not, as big as this room is how many companies are involved. It's a really small community. And everybody knows everybody. Everybody's friends with everybody. Our biggest hits on our Facebook page are pictures of us or pictures of the contractors that we do business with. And that draws them in so that when we post a Leviton video on GFCIs, they watch it.
Very good, thank you.
So we're talking videos, we're talking social media channels, we're talking about Facebook and Vine. Do you guys have any sort of process that you're using to really develop a digital strategy across all channels, whether it be social media, digital advertising, Google AdWords, anything like that?
I guess, so since I'm responsible for e-business I have a budget. And that budget for the year includes Google AdWords, Twitter, Facebook advertising, sponsored posts, all that. My COO doesn't care what percentage goes there, what percentage. As long as I'm staying within that dollar amount and represent all the products that I should be working with, it doesn't really matter. And yes, we have an overall strategy. I'm invited to all the different product groups strategy sessions. To work with each director of marketing to make sure that their business strategy overall intertwines with the digital strategy that we're going to outlay in the coming year. So we definitely are with all the business people, and I work with them throughout the year to develop that.
Our strategy is actually pretty simple. We're out there using these platforms to socialize. I've got 3 children myself, and they socialize using social media and not so much on the phone anymore or anything like that. So I noticed that, and I noticed some of our younger employees, we have a young workforce, this is how they socialize. Just give you a quick story. I've got 2 counter guys. One's in his early 50s, and the other one's in their 20s. And the older gentleman will complain about the younger one because he's always on his phone. He's always chatting or texting. And the older gentleman just didn't understand that's how he's socializing. He's talking to our contractors through Facebook, through instant message, through texting, and he's generating orders because that's how he socializes. He doesn't need to pick up a phone anymore. Where the other guy, the older gentleman, just that's how he does things. So our whole strategy is about just building a relationship. We encourage our employees to go on Facebook during the day, on the clock, and socialize with our customers.
Did anyone comment on release forms for employees or customers to sign? Is that no longer necessary?
We don't use a release form. As a business owner, we're always out there taking risk. I sell a wire nut to a contractor and he installs it wrong and it shorts out in a box and sets a building on fire. There's always a certain amount of liability with doing business. Employees are going to make mistakes, and we're going to take our lumps, but we also have to take some risks out there too, and put ourselves out there.
Well, I'll take the other viewpoint. Is that we're a bigger company, and the reality is that we have a full legal team that if we sneeze, we have to tell them beforehand. So, so the reality is, unfortunately, that's a necessary evil. We do not allow any employee to post anything on social media representative of the company. Everything that gets posted on social media goes through myself or my team. So it's a funnel. I love getting ideas from anyone, but we have to vet it. And ultimately, I'm responsible, and my team is responsible if anything gets posted on the social media channels. I don't know if that answers it.
Okay, I have a question for Jenna. We were talking earlier regarding marketing automation, and personally, that's something I'm looking at, something I want to move into over the next year or two. You're using Marketo, I believe. What are some good first steps for a company to take when they're looking at getting into the marketing automation? Can you give us a kind of a, two or three things to look for, and then how do you first get things rolling, and maybe some long-term goals to establish?
Well, one of the big things about marketing automation is it is much more expensive than just using Constant Contact or an e-newsletter thing. So you really have to do your research and talk about why it may be better, and understand that, better for your organization to produce more results. For us, it was really, I wanted to be able to have more frequency in my messages about products. So when we use Marketo, we use it for nurturing or drip campaigns. So when we're going to talk about a product, it's 3 or 4 emails, with the last one being a call to action. The majority of our customers are OEMs, so you really want to take them down the buying cycle of a PLC or another product that they're going to buy that has a lot more people involved in that decision, and there's a lot of psychology. They have to feel comfortable enough about the product to introduce it to their boss. They're not just going to say, oh, wow, I really want this drive. They're not going to take that to their boss without fully vetting that idea, because their credibility is at stake. So it just really allows us to be a little bit more flexible. And in the end, I decided I wanted to be able to measure our results by leads, like actual leads. People actually raising their hand saying they want to hear about a product. And Marketo allows us to do that. It's still not 100% because, this is a people industry. So a lot of times I feel like our messages get circumvented by our customer going straight to their account manager, and we don't necessarily get to hear that. But I think it's still just about taking them down that and hitting them at the different points and creating all that kind of stuff. So research a lot, read a lot about it, and then kind of figure out how it fits into what you want to do in the market.
I'm sorry, go.
Did you look at any other platforms?
Yes, but I don't remember. Act-On, maybe. Marketo just seemed like the leader, and they also have they seemed like a leader. They're always adding new things. Like most recently, now there's a plugin for Outlook. So I think, so basically any of our account managers can take one of our messages and they can, a marketing message, and they can send it out. We haven't implemented it because I don't know that they would want to do that. But like from a manufacturing standpoint, if you had field guys and you had a new product launch, they could pull it out and they could shoot it out to their distributor counterparts straight from Outlook, but then you get to keep your brand and your message. And I mean, they just launched a marketing calendar, which I'm really excited to see how that's going to help us organize things. And they have a they have a Spark edition, so they have a big time company, but then they have a lower subscription, so that made it a little bit more economical.
Dave, did you want to add something?
I was just going to add about lead generation that you brought up was that, and going back to social media, the one big thing that I always say is that the social media links that you do have to lead to something. And when I say social media, I mean Facebook, Twitter, but also Google AdWords. And what we do a lot of times is create hidden pages on the website so we know that those links are going to that hidden page, so we know exactly what the message we want that link to go to. But more importantly, you have to have something that you can track. And what we always do, or when I say always, more often than not, is to add a form for lead generation or more information that captures that, and we know that lead came from that campaign that we did. And we've gotten some tremendous leads, and all those leads go to our distribution sales force that goes to you guys. So we get, I would say, 20, 25 leads a day through our just lead generation forms and social media outreach to people. And those leads are proactive, like you mentioned, that are coming to asking for more information. So it's key.
Real quick to add to that, not nothing to do with outside, with like posting anything, but we use an internal application called Asana. It's a cloud-based tool for project management, and it's helped us quite a bit. So I just wanted to put that out there in case anyone else would be interested. You create a profile, or just a username for one person on each members of your team, and then you if you have a project you're working on, someone that comes to you for something they need done, you can title it, give it a description, put a due date on it. You can, I can assign it to somebody for them. I can say, this is the big project that I'm doing, but I need these 3 people to do these things first, and they check off when they're done and can manage it. It's just really good for project management within your department. So you can check that out.
Hi, I have a multi-level question. So my first one is, how many of your salespeople have iPads in the field for using your content? And then of those that do you have an MDM system, a multi-device management program that you control?
We have 30 salespeople, and in December 2012, we gave them all an iPad, and they are all managed on a mobile device server, so that I can push out apps. Some manufacturers will co-fund that endeavor. I don't know if they do that anymore, but that's how we did it. And so I want to guarantee to them that when they launch a new app, our guys are getting them. And so we do that, so you can push out the apps, you can delete, you can wipe an iPad and all that other stuff from that. So, and I don't think it was that expensive, the mobile device server.
What system do you use for the mobile device management?
I think it's ZenPrize.
We use a system called AirWatch, which is probably a similar kind of system. And for those of you in the room that are not familiar with that, we did have a vendor also help us pay for our iPads, so don't hesitate to ask. But if you're going to give them to them, you need to have a device management system with them, because as you find apps from your vendors, it's super easy to just push them right to your salespeople and they don't have to do anything. And then beyond that, what are some apps, non-vendor apps, but just utility apps that make your job or your salespeople's job easier?
We pushed Evernote out to everybody. They use Penultimate is one that we sent out to everybody, that we talk about as a team in the sales meetings on how to use. Our CRM, we use Sales Management Plus. It's on our iPads. Can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but those are the ones that I use as well. So,
does anybody use Noseby? It's a new one that I've heard of for project management.
We looked into Noseby. We actually use Podio for project management. It's free, and you can basically create your own project management software out of it. Podio, Podio. It's very similar to SharePoint, I think. But as my team can attest, Aaron over there, I made them try out like 5 different project management softwares, and we would load all of our stuff into it, and I'd be like, no, I don't like the way this is working. And so then we would try another one for a couple of weeks, and she's like, okay. We finally, we settled on Podio.